In today's video, I'm building the entire history of Ferrari, from the 1960s Dino to modern hypercars, all in LEGO. 17 cars, all custom built from the ground up. Learn the stories behind the vehicles and the techniques behind the MOCs. So let's grab our bricks and get to building. Let's get started in the swinging 60s with the Ferrari Dino 246. Produced between 1967 and 1974, the Dino 246 is one of the most beautiful Ferraris ever made. The car was actually named after his son Alfredo Dino Ferrari. Sporting a V6 instead of a V12, it was one of Ferrari's first mid-engine road cars, and today some examples sell for over $500,000. Now this was a pretty tough one to build, but after a lot of trial and error, I made this little guy, which I'm really happy with. Initially, I designed it in red, but chose to build my LEGO version in blue for two reasons. One, this mudguard piece, which we'll get to in a second, and two, as you'll see in the video, I already made a bunch of red Ferraris, so I wanted this one to stand out. Alright, on to the next one. Before we go any further, here's a quick Ferrari refresher in under a minute. The company began in 1947 when Enzo Ferrari built his first road car, the 125S. Before that, he spent decades running Scuderia Ferrari for Alfa Romeo. If it isn't obvious, Ferrari has always had a knack for fast cars. In fact, it's the longest running team in Formula One, with the company's first entry into the sport in 1950. And finally, in 2004, LEGO and Ferrari teamed up. With nearly 50 sets in total so far, the partnership has been one of LEGO's strongest. We've gotten speed champions, racers, Technic supercars, F1 models, large-scale icon vehicles, and so much more. Which leads us right into the next mod.
Let's go!
Some of y'all might remember set number 75889, Ferrari Ultimate Garage, which was released way back in 2018, and this set is goated. It included an awesome garage build, a 488 GTE, a 312 T4, and a 250 GTO, which is the one I'm going to focus on. I love this set, and I wanted to build one of my favorite cars from one of my favorite movies. So I took LEGO's official 250 GTO design and turned it into a 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California. Oh yeah. One of the rarest and most valuable Ferraris ever built, less than 100 were even made. Most people know it from the movie. But did you know that that one was actually a fiberglass replica? And this one's made of plastic. But something's missing, or should I say someone.
Bueller?
My parts are a little limited, and I couldn't find a jacket that quite fit, but I made this Ferris minifig using a Star Wars jacket and Peter Parker's head.
I don't feel so good.
Back to the car. Due to the limited quantity that was produced, some examples of this car can sell for $15 million or more. So quite a pretty penny. While we're on the subject of high prices, the short mudguard piece that I mentioned earlier was only ever released in red in the Ultimate Garage set. So it has also become highly sought after on the used market, usually fetching somewhere between $25 and $40 each, which is still way cheaper than the real thing. Let's roll into the 70s.
Say hello to my little friend.
Next up is the legendary endurance race car from 1970, the Ferrari 512M. The M stands for Modificata, because it was an improved version of the earlier 512S. Lighter, more aerodynamic, and more competitive. It battled directly against the Porsche 917 during one of the greatest eras of endurance racing. The 512M used a 5-liter V12 making around 610 horsepower, could hit over 211 miles, and raced at Le Mans, Daytona, and Sebring. Its long-tail design and massive rear wing make it one of Ferrari's most dramatic racing silhouettes. In fact, it's such an iconic car that LEGO decided to immortalize it in bricks in 2022. And if you hadn't noticed already, my MOC is a shrunk-down version of the official Speed Champions set. I used the stickers from the set and a lot of the parts, but at a smaller scale. And in my opinion, it scales better with minifigs at 6 studs wide, but that's subjective. Next, I built the car of choice of everyone's favorite nun-shooting gumshoe, Magnum's 308 GTS. Thanks to Magnum PI, the 308 GTS became one of the most recognizable Ferraris of all time. So it was a no-brainer that I had to make this when it came to building up my collection of LEGO Ferraris. When making it, I took some inspiration from a fantastic LEGO car builder who goes by TLG. My old school Speed Champions version is kind of a shrunk down version of theirs, and I did make some changes when it came to mine, but the hood especially is definitely inspired by TLG. But you know what's not shrunk down? Tom Selleck. Known for his glorious mustache, he is also quite tall. At 6'4", he was so towering that they literally had to remove the seat padding from the car so he could fit in it. And with that, let's move into the most iconic era of Ferrari, the 80s. And the Testarossa is the 80s. This thing was sleek, stylish, glamorous, and aggressive. Its lines were intentional, but not everything was for looks. Take one of the car's most striking features, the side strakes. They looked cool, but their real purpose was to channel cool air to the massive radiators of the flat 12 engine. And even though the one I built is white, Testarossa actually means redhead, referring to the engine's red cylinder heads. It became a pop culture icon thanks to Miami Vice, which is also why I built it in white. Early on in the show, Sonny Crockett drove what looked like a Ferrari Daytona, but it was actually a replica built on a Corvette chassis. Ferrari found out, threatened to sue the production, and then made a wild offer. Stop using the fake car, and Ferrari would give the studio 2 brand new Testarossas. And the rest is TV and automotive history. Naturally, the show agreed. Blew up the replica on screen, repainted the real Testarossas white to fit the Miami aesthetic, and the Testarossa instantly became one of the most iconic TV cars ever. Hey, maybe they'll see my fake LEGO version and send me a real one too. And this next one cemented Ferrari as the go-to for supercars of the era, the Ferrari F40. This was actually the final Ferrari that Enzo personally approved before his passing. The F40 was built with one mission, to be the fastest car in the world. And coming in around 200 miles per hour, for a time, it was. A twin-turbo V8, no ABS, no traction control, no luxury. Early cars even had sliding plastic windows. Heck, the rear wing is even part of the chassis. You physically cannot remove it. On the real car, of course. It pops right off on the LEGO version. Speaking of LEGO, they have actually built several versions of the F40 throughout the years. I even made a video showcasing 2 of the others, along with a tutorial of my own version. Check out the video on my channel if you're interested in building it too. All in all, the F40 is one of the most raw, analog supercars ever built, and today, many sell for $2 to $3 million. But again, parts for the LEGO version will run you about 20 to 30 bucks. So in my opinion, it's a much better deal. Before we get into the 90s, we've got a good amount of cars, but nowhere to really put them. So I built this, a gigantic Ferrari badge. I used a lot of snot bricks and a lot of tricky techniques to get as much detail as I could. I even added these arms so it could display some of my favorite Ferrari MOCs. And if you want to build one too, or any of the vehicles in the video, check my Patreon and Rebrickable pages. I'll put the links down in the description. Also, if you're enjoying the video, give it a like and hit that subscribe button too. Ring the bell for notifications and drop a comment with what your favorite build in the video is. Y'all's support means the world to me, so thank you so much to everyone watching. And with that being said, back to the cars. And bringing us into the 90s is the Ferrari F355. Known for its clean lines, pop-up headlights, and 5-valve per-cylinder V8, the F355 is a true modern classic. Ferrari built more than 11,000 F355s, making it one of their most successful modern cars. A red one was even featured in the opening chase sequence from GoldenEye, where it raced against Bond's Aston Martin DB5 and won. But that's not where I first found out about the car. I first learned about it from Hoovie's Garage on YouTube. I absolutely loved the way it looked and had to build it in LEGO. We had a few issues with his. Fortunately, my little LEGO version is nowhere near as combustible as his was. It can still blow up though. Named after the man himself, the Ferrari Enzo is probably the toughest one to design out of this whole bunch. The front on the real car is quite curvy, so it was a challenge to recreate it in LEGO, especially at such a small scale. But after a lot of trial and error, I came up with this version, which I am really happy with. Especially the rear section, which is way more complicated than it looks. Designed with Ferrari's legacy of racing in mind, the Enzo packed Formula One tech everywhere. Ferrari initially planned 349 units, but increased it to 399. A 400th was even built and donated to the Pope for charity. Another detail I am really satisfied with on my mock is the intakes on the side. This was possible because the side of the car is actually 3 separate pieces. The skirt angles outwards towards the back, where the door section angles inwards, and this wedge plate sits flush with the rear mudguards. Now for something a bit more modern. Instead of going by decade, I'm going to go by types for the 2000s and beyond, starting with the modern V8s and the 488 Pista. Pista means track in Italian, and this car is basically a street-legal race car. It borrows heavily from the Ford GT racing program and hits 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Its aggressive stance, sleek curves, and iconic dual stripe make it instantly recognizable. And I think I captured that pretty well in my tiny LEGO recreation. I used Technic panels on the side to capture the curves of the real car, and a couple tricky techniques on the rear and taillight section. For the dual stripe that runs along the top, I cut out strips from used sticker sheets, a trick I use all the time to add some extra details to MOCs. I also think the intakes on the sides and front look pretty convincing. One thing I don't think I've mentioned in the video yet is that for all but one of the Ferraris I built, I made the body transition from 6 studs wide at the front to 7 studs wide at the rear. See? 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. I used a variety of methods on each car to achieve this, and I think it helped capture the shape of the Ferraris really well. What do you think? Alright, next up is the F8 Tributo, a tribute to Ferrari's legendary V8 lineup. The F8 uses a refined version of the 488 Pista engine and rear louvers inspired by the F40. It's one of the most aerodynamic Ferraris ever built. In order to make sure the car was quick on its feet, Ferrari kept the chassis light by using more composite materials than ever before. Now for me, this one holds a special place in my heart. The Speed Champion set of this car was the set that got me out of my dark ages and inspired me to start building again. It came out in 2020, which was the perfect opportunity for me to get back into LEGO. For some reason, I had a lot of free time that year. I just can't remember what was going on in 2020. I feel like I didn't have a lot of work, didn't really go out much. I don't know. Anyway, I really like the way this one came together, especially the side panel and air intake, the front, and the rear. Basically the whole thing. And to round out the V8s, we've got the Roma. Ferrari marketed it as La Nuova Dolce Vita, which means the new sweet life. And this car lives up to the advertisement for sure. A modern take on 1960s elegance with minimalist styling and a clean interior. The Roma is Ferrari at its cleanest. No vents, no big wings, just smooth curves. Which sounds great for a real car, but in LEGO, curves are kind of tough. Fortunately, LEGO's been releasing more and more tiles and slopes these days, which came in handy when it came to recreating this beautiful beast in building blocks. Overall, I'm really happy with the shaping on this one, especially the sides. And the front hood too, but that section is an absolute mess underneath. But it holds together just fine and it looks good. And what more can you ask for? Next up is Ferrari's modern V12s, starting with the 812 Competizione. This thing was built for speed. The engine produces 830 horsepower, revs to 9,500 RPM, all without a turbo or hybrid system. It's track focused, aggressive, and one of the last naturally aspirated V12s in the world. Ferrari even replaced the rear window with a carbon fiber vortex generator for better downforce. It's basically the final boss of V12s. And you might recognize this one too. Like the 512M, the F40, the F8, LEGO released their own version under the Speed Champions line. Like the others, I used as many of the parts from the original set as I could, and of course, I used the stickers too. I also used some techniques from the set, but a lot of changes were made when I made my shrunk down version. Like they say, if you're gonna steal, steal from the best. Hot off the press is Ferrari's newest V12 Grand Tour, the Cilindri 12, which means 12 cylinder. Duh. It was unveiled in 2024 and is inspired by the 365 GTB4 Daytona. The design blends retro cues with razor-sharp modern lines. Ferrari heavily prioritized aerodynamics on this one. There isn't a single wasted surface, which is exactly what I wanted to capture in the LEGO version. This one was pretty challenging to design, but overall I love the way it turned out. The sides especially. The rear of the greenhouse was pretty tough to make, but thanks to some snotty techniques and wedge tiles, it looks enough like the real thing, if you squint hard enough. And now for one of my favorites.
Number 15.
And the only mock out of all these that the 8-stud fans can't complain about that it only seats one minifig, the Monza SP1. And that's because the real thing is a single seat road car, no passenger seat, not even a windshield. Wait, what? Ferrari calls it a virtual windshield. Supposedly, the way the car is designed, it pushes the air away from the driver, so there's no need.
Right.
The SP1 is part of the Icona series, inspired by 1950s Barchetta racers. Its V12 is capable of over 800 horsepower and had extremely limited production. It's incredibly rare and values are well into the 7 figures. The LEGO version was a blast and a challenge to make, but because the real car sits so low, sacrifices were made. Not only will the minifig get bugs in their teeth, they'll also have to undergo a very painful surgery in order to drive the car. But you know what? Despite the issues with the windshield, I like this one so much, we're going to add it to the display we built earlier. What do you think about the cars I chose? Would you pick others? Or are these pretty good choices? The last of the V12s, and probably the most finicky mock in this whole video, the Daytona SP3. A tribute to Ferrari's 1967 1-2-3 finish at the Daytona 24 Hours. This is one of Ferrari's most sculpted supercars. Its rear grille is made of stacked layers, one of Ferrari's most complex designs, which is also true of this LEGO version. Like the SP1 before, it's part of the Icona series, combining heritage inspiration with modern performance. The V12 revs to 9,500 RPM, which is wild for a non-hybrid supercar. LEGO even made a gigantic Technic SP3 a few years ago, and I really wanted this set. I just couldn't bring myself to pull the trigger on it. So I made my own teeny tiny version. Plenty of illegal techniques and fun sideways building. This one was a huge challenge to design. I even added a special feature to it that none of the other Ferraris in this video have. Open doors. And if you want to see how I made them, check out this video on my channel. And you know what? I like it so much, I'm going to display this one too. I made a pedestal for it to go on, but that's not all. Turn this little crank right here, and it spins. Now we're getting into the crazy future stuff, the SF90. Thanks to a plug-in hybrid system and 3 electric motors, it's Ferrari's first production car to break 1,000 horsepower. 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. It's the most technologically advanced Ferrari road car ever built, and the real thing looks sick. So I wanted to capture it in LEGO. And since LEGO just announced some of the new Speed Champions cars for 2026, it looks like they did too. Maybe I'll do some updates when it comes out. Until then, I've got this little guy to keep the other Ferraris company. Up next is the brand new Ferrari F80. The F80 marks a major shift for Ferrari's hypercar lineup, using a 3-liter, 120-degree V6 paired with multiple electric motors for a combined output of over 1,200 horsepower. That makes it the most powerful road-legal Ferrari ever made. Ferrari calls it the start of a new technological era. Active aerodynamics, active suspension, a lightweight carbon fiber chassis, and a futuristic 1+ cockpit layout focused entirely on the driver. This LEGO version is my take on what the F80 looks like based on Ferrari's early visuals. As soon as I saw the photos online, I got to building, literally that same day. And the final result looks kind of simple, but it was pretty tough to recreate. There are a lot of parts I'm proud of, but I'm really happy with the rear section. It's as snotty and over-engineered as anything else I've ever built. And that's it. Or is it? Alright, I got one more for you. Ferrari's 2024 Formula 1 entry. Earlier this year, LEGO released 10 F1 cars, and I shrunk down 3 of them. This one and the 2 Red Bulls. Let me know down in the comments if I should do more. As for the Ferrari, it's probably the second most fragile build in the video, but the end result was worth it, in my opinion. One thing though, about the driver. The body of the car was really compact, and I had to squeeze a lot of brackets and modified bricks in there in order to get a shape I was happy with. That meant that there was only room for the head. Sorry, buddy. Alright, I'm actually in a pretty good mood today, so I'm going to show you one more Ferrari-related thing. Now, I've already done videos for the Chevy and Lamborghini dealership. If you want to watch those, definitely check them out on my channel. But I want to show you this too. I am working on a Ferrari dealership, and it's pretty big. Instead of a standalone building like the other two, the Ferrari dealership is actually going to be the bottom floor of this building on the left, and I'm calling the entire modular Pine Point. I even made a brick belt sign for it. My idea is it's kind of a shopping center. So on the left is the Ferrari dealership on the bottom floor, and then 3 floors of apartments with 2 units on each level. On top is this little pigeon's nest, and it even has a working elevator. And the building on the right is the kind of shopping portion of the modular. And my idea was that the building has everything you need for a nice day out. On the bottom floor is a makeup and beauty store. The second floor is a clothes boutique. It even has little dressing rooms. The third floor is a restaurant, and then the top floor is a salon. Now this is the largest building I've ever designed. It's over 10,000 pieces. It's huge. And so far, I've gathered about 8,000 to 9,000 of those parts, but I'm a little short. Whenever I get the rest of them in, I will make sure to make a video and build it for y'all and show it off, but I'm really excited about it. And I wanted to give a little sneak peek to people who've made it this far in the video. Let me know if you have any suggestions for it before I build it down in the comments. And that's it. All 18 Ferrari MOCs that I've made so far. From the 1960s classics all the way to modern hypercars. Seeing the entire Ferrari timeline in LEGO form really shows how the brand has evolved, and let me know which Ferrari you want to see next. They've got a lot of cars, and I can't really choose which one I want to do next, so I'll leave that up to y'all. And don't forget, instructions for all of the builds in this video are available on my Rebrickable and Patreon pages. Patreon has 4 tiers of support, including a free one, but members of the Ultimate Builder tier get access to all of the instructions I make. That is literally hundreds of things. Cars, buildings, desktop items, little statues, all sorts of stuff. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. It really means a lot to me, so thank you. And a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, especially Zach, Harley, Jim, Derek, Darius, Stan, Ruby's Music, Articular Pack 6, and Joshua. Thanks again, and I'll see y'all in the next one.